Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. So for today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, something I'm kind of excited for and kind of nervous for. I hope you guys will enjoy it. But it starts with a site called Polyvore. So I don't know how many of you will be familiar with Polyvore, but basically it was a website where you could take different clothing pieces and basically make a collage. So you could not own clothes, but kind of just take clothing that had been released that wasn't in your closet and make basically an inspiration board or different thematic outfits. And it was very, very popular on the internet long ago, and the website has since become defunct. It doesn't exist anymore. But there is another website that is similar to Polyvore and how it worked, and it is called ShopLook. So I was exploring on here the other day, and I thought it would be really fun to try to make outfits inspired by the Monster High characters, specifically the G3 Monster High characters, just because I do think there is a bit of distinction in terms of the styles and the fashion senses for each character. So I do have to clarify, I mean specifically for G3. So that's what I did. I went in there and I made a bunch of outfit inspirations for different characters. So I have looks for the entire core lineup of dolls for G3 except for Ghoulia, just because I'm not really a big Ghoulia fan. I'm sorry, but I felt like I couldn't do her justice because I don't really like her as a doll. And then I also didn't do Deuce just because the women's fashion tends to be more exciting, and I was having a harder time trying to find anything that I liked for him that I could find on this website to kind of use as inspiration. I hope that that makes sense. But yeah, so today we're gonna go through and look at the outfits that I created. Like I said, I thought this was really fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. I am nervous because I feel like my fashion sense might not be super, and so I'm a little bit nervous about that. They might not be actually good outfits. I just might like them. So I guess let me know what you think in the comments down below. I also will have ShopLook linked in the description. I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever, but if you guys want to go on there and make your own outfits, I think that that would be really, really fun. But yeah, so if you do enjoy the video, if you could give it a like, that'd be really cool. If you are just finding my channel and you haven't seen me before, this isn't my normal sort of content, but if you like it, maybe subscribe to see more. But yeah, let's go ahead and start looking at the looks. So I am going to be starting with my least favorite and then going up to my favorite, because some of them I do think are stronger than others. So my first one is Draculaura, which is kind of sad because I think she has some of the prettiest clothing on her dolls, especially in G3. She has a lot of dolls already that have either come out or have been leaked that look really, really good. But yeah, I just felt less confident with Draculaura, I think. This was the first one that I made, so maybe that's why, as I was kind of getting used to it. But I thought this hot pink corset over the billowy sleeves of a more sheer shirt would look really, really cute. It gives very girly. I thought the sleeves were kind of not actually Victorian or any typical era, but I thought that a dramatic sleeve kind of is reminiscent of some historical fashion, so I thought that that would be appropriate. The skirt is what's throwing me off the most. I will admit that wholeheartedly. I couldn't find the right color with the right silhouette, so I don't think that the skirt is perfect for this design. But I did think that the hearts were cute, and I think that in a slightly different color or a slightly different silhouette, this could work really well for Draculaura. I wanted to include more of the hot pink, so I did hot pink fishnets. I don't know. Again, I am fully aware that my style is not the best style that's out there. I know that. So please try to be nice if you hate this. But I don't know, something about colored fishnets I think can be really, really fun, especially for Monster High. They aren't meant to look like everyday characters, they're literally monsters. So I feel it's okay to do stuff that's a little bit more unusual. I don't know, I feel people are going to feel some sort of way about the colored fishnets, but I thought that they would look really cute. I think the shoes are perfectly appropriate. I don't know exactly what to call this style, because I don't think that they're technically Mary Janes, but the hearts and the bows I thought would be very appropriate for Draculaura. We have a little heart choker. Again, I'm not 100% sold on this aspect. I feel I could change it a little bit, but this was the best that I could come up with at the time. I do like the bat earrings. I think that those are really, really cute. And then the little cute, plush bat purse. Adorable. Not only is it thematic because it's bats, so it makes perfect sense for Draculaura, but also it's just so cute and fluffy, and I feel she would love something adorable like that. So the purse I feel very strongly about. I think I'm most confident about the purse, the earrings, the shoes, and the top combo. Everything else I know might be a little bit questionable. But yeah, this is my least favorite. Like I said, the one that I was least confident about. I still don't think it's terrible. I think with a few tweaks, this could be really, really cool. So if you hate it, please be nice. I don't know why I'm so nervous about this. I've literally shared art that I've made from scratch on this channel and on my Instagram, and for some reason this makes me more nervous than sharing that. So that's kind of weird of me, but yeah, that's Draculaura's outfit. And then we have Frankie's, and I feel like for them, I was able to find things that were close to what I wanted, but not quite. So I need you guys to do a bit of like imagining with me here to make this work. So I think that the cropped button up is really, really cute. I think that's a good kind of exciting androgynous type of shirt, because like a button-up shirt is just a shirt. Anybody can wear that. Of course, anybody can wear any type of fashion, but within the society we live in, like a button-up shirt is seen as pretty androgynous. But I feel like the crop gives it a little bit more fashion because it's just kind of boring otherwise. I want this like, I think this is just a tank top that I found, but what I am envisioning is a cropped sweater vest that ends at the same length as the cropped button-up, so that like it's all in line, like there's not like competing waistlines or anything like that. So that's what I'm imagining, is those two layered. I do like the color of the tank, which is why I chose it, because I feel like it was close enough and it gave you the color that I needed to give. And then the hot pink lightning bolt earrings. I mean, lightning bolts, Frankie, it's perfect for them. And okay, I need you to carry on that hot pink to the shoes, because I found this picture of the mismatched, I think these are demonias. And I thought that this was so perfect because, especially in G3, like I'm thinking of the live action movie, Frankie had a lot of kind of more punk looking or more alternative looking styles kind of mixed in with some preppy elements. So I thought that the mismatched demonias were absolutely perfect, except of course the pink is like a very light pink, and I would be going more for the hot pink to match the earrings. So I need y'all to just imagine that that's like a more aggressive tone of pink, or even that the earrings are a slightly less aggressive tone. They're the same color, okay? That's what we're getting at. So we're pretending that those are the same color. We have a lightning bolt bag to match, and then this skirt is one that I imagine is like one of those skirts that has shorts underneath and like half of it is showing. I had to like edit this a little bit, so I actually layered the skirt that had the blue color that I wanted for the plaid on top of like a little pair of shorts, so that's why it probably looks kind of janky, but I feel like you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Kind of like what Jenny Rocks had from my LOL Tween Series 4 review of Jenny. Her like cut of skirt short thing, that's what I'm imagining, only in blue to kind of match Frankie's color scheme a little bit better. And then lastly, just some chain necklaces. I feel like a chain necklace is like a staple. It matches with everything, and especially with all the other stuff going on. I didn't want anything too crazy because I feel like there's a lot of intense elements here, but I feel like a necklace was important. So yeah, this is for Frankie. Again, I feel like you have to do some imagining. I feel like it doesn't come together perfectly as a collage like this. There's definitely an art to creating these collages in a way that look good together that I definitely have not mastered, but I feel like on a doll or even just a drawing of Frankie with a few tweaks, this could be really good. So I hope you guys can see what I had in my head based upon seeing this image, because it's not exact, but it is as close as I was able to get with what I could find on ShopLook. So, you know, I did what I could. I don't feel like it's terrible. Then we have Lagoonas, and here's where I start to get a little bit more confident. Starting off with this romper, I actually edited the sleeves off because I didn't think that it needed to have straps or sleeves. I feel like a strapless romper with the tie-dye. It's got all of the bright colors that we're seeing from Gen 3 Lagoona. I thought that it was very, very cute. And then on top of that, I was thinking this mesh cropped hoodie. I think it gives like a little bit of sporty, a little bit of edge, and I love me a good mesh anything, if I'm being honest. So I'm kind of like influencing this a little bit. I thought the sandals were really cool. I like those a lot. The color is obviously not a perfect match in this picture, but imagine it's a perfect match. I feel like Lagoona would rock these sandals, be very comfortable in them, very like sporty, but also super cute. And then, okay, so I was thinking this is technically a bracelet, I think. The puka shell one, I think that that's technically a bracelet. I was thinking of an anklet, okay? I think that she would rock a little puka shell anklet. Maybe it's kind of stereotypical. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just like, when I think beachy, athletic, that's what I think. And so that's what I gave Lagoona. Hopefully I'm not that far off. And then I did give her another, I don't know what kind of shell this is. But the necklace, that was actually a necklace, which is funny. I remember very distinctly growing up, one of my older brothers wore a necklace like this all the time. But I feel like it kind of matches, again, like the water, but also sporty vibe. I felt confident about this before I started talking about it, and now I'm feeling more anxious. I don't know why I'm like so nervous about my creative choices when it comes to fashion, but I feel like I'm gonna get judged for some of these fashion choices. So I guess I'll find out later. But the scrunchie, I feel solid about the scrunchie. Who doesn't love a good scrunchie? I don't even have hair long enough for a scrunchie anymore, but I miss being able to wear one. They were so comfortable. They were so cute. I feel like Lagoona would love a scrunchie. I have a fishhook here specifically because I couldn't find an earring that was what I wanted. I feel like Lagoona would wear a fishhook as an earring. It's very like edgy for her specifically because she is a sea monster. So like to have a fishhook in your ear is kind of like, oh, they tried to catch me, but they couldn't. I don't know. I just feel like that would be appropriate, like a thematic for her design, but I also thought it would just be something that she would do to be like, yeah, I'm cool, like, they couldn't get to me. I don't know if that makes any sense. I also feel like I should say here that I haven't seen the new show at all, so I actually don't know what their personalities are. I'm just making this up based upon what I've seen from the live action movie and then the dolls that I have from G3. So yeah, that's where we're at. And then lastly, I have this kind of iridescent shell bag. It was a purse on the website, so I wanted to put it in because otherwise I felt it was perfect. But I think Lagoona would have either a backpack or a fanny pack in this design. So again, kind of using your imagination. But that's my thoughts on Lagoona. Like I said, I felt really confident about this one going in. And then the more I talk, the more I'm like, what have you done, Oliver? But it's too late now, so we carry on. Okay, this one though I feel like is solid. I think I did good with Toralei. So the ripped jeans, I just love. I think that the rips are so fun. And also she's got claws, so like I'm sure she would accidentally rip her pants. It makes sense. And I like the slight gradient in color on the denim there. I thought that was very, very cute. The shoes, come on. A good chunky boot with the scratches on the side with the red. It's literally perfect for Toralei. I love it so much. I have a lot of different accessories going on here. I feel like she would have a lot of accessories with the rings and like the dangly earrings. The big chunky chain necklace, I love that because it's just like a chain, I said earlier with Frankie, is kind of a staple, but make it super chunky and it's like a little bit edgier, a little bit harder. A big fat bracelet, I'm really into like the big jewelry, can you tell? I also don't believe in over-accessorizing. I say this all the time on this channel, but I am a maximalist. I think that you cannot have too much of anything. So I feel like for Toralei's design, I really wanted to get all of the cool accessories in there. I did give her a cat shirt. She has a cat shirt on her core doll for G3, so I feel justified doing this. I know some people think this kind of design is really overdone and overused and just like not exciting. I think it's cute still. So again, not a fashion guru. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was cute. And especially with this red moto vest over it, like open so you can see the cat. I thought that would tie in with her color scheme very well and look really, really good with the long sleeves on the shirt. Like I can picture this in my head. This one I feel much, much more secure about. I think this looks good. And then lastly, just a black and white bag to give her a bag. Like she's got to carry something. I felt like it matched her color scheme and wasn't competing too much with any of her other design elements because she does have a lot happening. So Toralei's I feel pretty good about. I feel like you can hear it in my voice that I actually feel pretty good about this one. So sorry if you don't like this one. I guess if you all hate it, everything I know about fashion will be flipped on its head. Not that I know much, but I'm hoping that this will go over well because I thought this was a good one. Okay, only two more. So first off is Cleo's. I struggled a lot to get this done, but now that it's done, I feel like it's really, really good. Similar to Toralei, I felt like she needed to have a lot of accessories because it's Cleo. She's like extravagant and over the top, and I couldn't imagine her not having just as much gold as possible. So we'll start with the accessories then, I guess. I do have 3 necklaces on here. I have one that's more of like almost a collar, and then a little charm one, and then I have one, oh my god, I'm gonna forget what this bird is called. I think it's from Horus. I think it's a symbol of Horus. Let me know in the comments down below if I got that horrifically wrong. But yeah, I thought that layering all of those would be good. Again, I know it's a lot, like I know it's not for everybody, but I feel like Cleo would just want as much shiny stuff as possible. And again, I'm a maximalist. I cannot not have too much stuff. So maybe take away a couple of those necklaces if you're like imagining this and you aren't a fan of all of the jewelry, but I thought it was fun. I gave her a little armband, some earrings, and then a pyramid ring. I thought those were all very cute. She's got just, I mean, comparatively basic gold heels. There's not a whole lot going on except they are very shiny and metallic. So like I know that they're not basic, but compared to what they could be, I feel like that's fairly basic. To be fair, it's also very hard to find real life shoes on a site like ShopLook where they're as thematic as Monster High shoes tend to be. So like the shoes are all kind of more simple than an actual Monster High shoe might be. But I feel like this worked for Cleo. A little yellow pyramid bag. I actually really like the color of yellow. I know it doesn't necessarily match with all of the gold, but I'm kind of vibing with it. I don't know. Then I have this kind of wrap tank top. I thought that was cute. I love the blue on Cleo. I'm so happy that in Gen 3 she's got more blue, specifically her hair being blue is so, so pretty to me. So I really wanted to lean into that because I've always loved Cleo with more blue in her designs than more of like the aqua color. So she's got the blue kind of wrap tank top. I love this skirt. I was scrolling for so long trying to find a good skirt for Cleo, and I thought this was perfect. This would be like the bandage element of her outfit. I just love the different patterns and the different stripes and the colors. It's so pretty to me. I love this skirt so much. I don't know what it is. I just saw it and it screamed Cleo to me. So I was really proud to have found it and to be able to like put a look together with it because it looks so good. And then for some reason I still thought she was missing something. So I went with this cardigan. I imagine her wearing it. It's kind of like not fully, where it's just kind of draped at her elbows, if that makes sense, where she's got like her hands in the sleeves, but instead of pulling it up over her shoulders, she's just kind of like hanging out with it draped around her elbows. I hope that that makes sense and you know what I'm talking about. I can't imagine it on fully with the rest of this outfit, but I feel like acting more like a shawl almost than a full cardigan, she would rock that with this, and it's got the stripes and the blue and the cream. I thought this was really solid, okay? I really, really like this one. So please be nice if you hate it. Because I thought this was so cute and I had so much fun making this one. Like I had fun making all of them, but this was definitely one of my favorites. But Clawdeen's was actually my favorite, which is very funny to me because going in, I was like not sure what I was going to look up and try to find for Clawdeen, but everything just fell together so perfectly and I'm so happy with this. Okay, so we have the colored fishnets again. Listen, I'll get there in a second. We have to start off with the dress because that was the basis. I feel like the animal print is always kind of a staple of Clawdeen's style. She's always got some sort of animal print, or at least a lot of the time she has some sort of animal print. And I love the blue and the purples, a little bit of pink there with this dress. I thought the colors were just really good for Clawdeen and the print was really good. So that was the basis. I wanted to use the blue fishnets to kind of draw out the blue in the dress. I just thought that would look so cute on her. And then these shoes, oh my god, I feel like these shoes are perfect. I'm so excited about this. The color is perfect. The black, like the smoothness, the sleekness of it. I love these shoes, okay? I think that these are perfect. Again, this is one where I can picture this outfit very clearly in my head on her, and I feel like she would rock it. I didn't want her to just have the dress because I feel like that was a little bit too basic, a little bit too plain. So I figured this black shirt would go really well underneath it. The sleeves are kind of sheer, and then I love the fur at the wrists. I think, again, fur is a big element for Clawdeen, so I thought it was very appropriate. I just was so excited about this. And then, of course, after I had the basis, then I go looking at all the accessories. I know some people don't like the glasses for Clawdeen. I think that if you don't like the glasses just because they aren't your cup of tea, that's fine. I think that if you don't like the glasses because you think that makes her a nerd, you're wrong. That's like a dumb stereotype. And I love the glasses for Clawdeen because I have glasses, so I really appreciate seeing a very stylish character have glasses. So I did kind of just pick like a random gold pair that I thought would match. I have a couple of necklaces for her that are like moon and stars, and I mean, that's pretty thematic, the moons, that makes sense. She obviously has a moon on her belt. I thought the belt would be like a nice little breakup of all of the leopard prints. And then, okay, the claw clasp, here's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining Clawdeen with like very, very curly hair, and I'm thinking the claw clasp is in like the back, right? So she's got like a big puff kind of on like the back top of her head. I hope that that makes any sort of sense. I feel like a crazy person. I'm just like too excited right now is the problem. But I'm imagining that claw clasp kind of in the back here, holding her puff together with this little charm that I put next to it dangling from it. So from the back, she's got like this gold claw clasp and a cute little moon charm. That's what's happening in my head. I don't know if you can picture that, but that's what's happening in my head. And then lastly, I thought this little fuzzy purple bag was very interesting. Just like the style of it was not something that I see a whole lot, so I thought that that was fun, and I feel like Clawdeen would go for something a little bit different. The purple matches the rest of her outfit, and of course the fuzziness, the fur, it's perfect. I thought this was so good, okay? Again, I know that I might get roasted for this, but I think that this looks really good, and I could see this on a doll, and part of me really wants to figure out how to make this for a doll, because I just feel like it would look so cute. So Clawdeen's was definitely my favorite. I don't know why, because like I said, I didn't think that was going to be the case going in, but for some reason this just feels very cohesive to me and I can see it so well, and I'm just very excited about it. So yeah, that is going to be all of my ShopLook designs for today. Like I said, a little bit nervous for this one because it's outside of what I normally do, but I had a lot of fun making these just for myself, and I thought it would be fun to share with you guys just in case you also enjoyed them. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If you want me to do more of these, I'm more than happy to. It would be kind of tricky because not many other characters have a design for G3 yet, so I might be basing it more off of G1 designs. But if you want to see me do more, let me know which characters I should do down in the comments below. I really hope that this was at least entertaining for you guys, because I don't know, it's not what I normally do, but I like to try to branch out and do different stuff. So it makes me a little nervous, but I'm hopeful, and I did enjoy it, so that's all I can do, you know, is have fun doing it and hope that you guys like it as well. But yes, I hope you guys did like it. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.